What it is?
What's up?
Got your person in the cuts.
Hot damn.
So, how are you?
I am good. I'm gonna try not to say tired. I'm that too. You know, let me just say
put
it, guys.
all the sound bites together.
Every time I said, I'm not gonna say it.
I'm trying to say you're tired.
I'm tired. But you know, I'm after this, I'm gonna go out and feel young a bit. I was like, let me get ready a little bit. It's not a go home face. I'm dressed like I'm going home, but I'm not. Well, I'm gonna go home and change. Please,
and
guys.
then be in the streets.
And then be in the streets.
Needs some time
yes,
in the streets.
It absolutely does. Not mingling, just being out in the streets. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm good.
Yeah.
Weather sucks.
Oh.
But
Worst.
I'm okay. I'm okay. And today I'm actually quite excited because once again we have a guest.
That guest they didn't join in the choir.
You know what it is?
You know?
Why do you even know that?
She's demure.
No. She actually doesn't know it.
Wow.
How are you? You can actually introduce yourself.
Yes, please.
I'm very well, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Like
Hey.
so Zolisa, why is like so chill and so zen when you're literally extra?
No, girl, that's the whole point.
Okay. My name, should I introduce myself?
Yes.
Oh.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Luna Nqiwa. I am the owner and founder of a skincare brand called Nelo Skin. I'm also a skincare influencer, content creator. So
the skin is amazing.
Thank you. I create content on mostly Instagram and TikTok around skin education, acne, hyperpigmentation, how to manage those skin conditions, live with them really, and also around relaxed hair care. So
every time I relax my hair, I look like the pip of a mango. Like after you've ravaged it, that's literally. So maybe I need some relaxed hair care because I did a pixie like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah,
and oh my gosh, it was amazing, but my hair was way too thin.
Yeah,
and that thing left me.
She's got fine hair.
Yeah, I do have very fine hair.
Yeah, it doesn't need over processing.
But your hair doesn't look like a mango pip.
Because I take care of it.
Oh, okay, so I'm the problem. But anyway, we're not here to talk about hair. Thank
we
God.
will have an episode about that.
Because I just got dragged.
Oh my word!
I try to take care of my hair. But today we're actually speaking about something that's quite close to my heart.
Yes.
And I think yours too.
Absolutely.
But for me, last year I had the worst breakout of my life, something that I've never ever experienced before. I think I literally messaged you about it because I was using your serum for more than a year at that time.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, there were fine pimples on my forehead. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's because my period is coming. It's chill. But they weren't going away and they were getting worse and they started spreading on my face. And I thought, okay, some over-the-counter stuff. But then the pimples were also starting to fade black. They were starting to get darker on my skin and they were getting bigger. Yeah. And you could sort of feel that they had multiple layers.
Oh, yeah.
And I started imagining, okay, this is what people experience as a teen, but I never experienced that. I've always had dry, sensitive skin.
Yeah.
But I've never experienced a proper breakout. That was my first breakout ever.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to the dermatologist and she was like, this is hormonal acne.
Yeah.
I'm like, what causes it? It's sometimes it just happens. Your hormones be like, yo, this is what's up right now. Put me on treatment. And that sort of really helped a lot. But I then went off treatment for 3 months. Actually, I lied, probably a month and a bit.
Yeah.
And the pimples came back, as you can see them right now. But they were way worse and I had to go back on treatment. And she was like, this is your life now.
Yeah.
But it was so weird for me because I'm the kind of person that's not really concerned about how I look.
Yeah.
In terms of, I'm not extremely tied to that in a superficial kind of way.
Yeah.
But having that experience of adult acne really started to affect my self-esteem. Because it's literally on your face.
Yeah.
It's the first thing people see.
Yeah.
Also the way people react to you when they're speaking with you. And also, I remember the one day I went into a store that I go into frequently And the lady was like, yo, what's happening with your face? Like the lady that was serving me.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like, oh, I'm
nice.
going through a breakout. But it was
it's such a visceral
it was
reaction.
such a sore thing because I was like, oh, wow. Like, don't you think I see this every single day?
Yeah.
And I'm feeling some type of way about it. But
I get it,
I also had to allow myself to actually feel some type of way because usually I'd be like, oh, why would you care so much that like you have pimples? It's just something that's happening to you. It doesn't define you in any way.
Yeah.
But I couldn't run away from what I was feeling in terms of this is actually affecting my self-esteem. I don't want to be around people much. I don't want to take photos much.
Yeah.
And you've spoken quite a lot about adult acne and like your experience of it. So we thought it was a really good time to have an episode about that, especially as we go into winter, which is when I used to usually struggle with being able to hydrate my skin, starting to feel a little bit like dry.
In the thick of that at the moment.
Yeah. So I thought it would be a good time to hand over to you so that you can just tell us about your experience of adult acne and understanding of it, and how one can cope with it and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think my experience is a little bit different than yours because I've had acne since I was 13.
Same.
Yeah.
So that was my experience too.
And then my acne is still active even now.
Wow.
So I've lived with acne and those reactions that people and the unsolicited advice that you get from people, just random people, my entire life now.
That's crazy that you're saying your skin, because I thought it ends after like you take your treatment for 3 months and it ends.
No.
But you saying it's still active speaks to that experience that I have.
Closer, yeah.
Speaks to the experience that I had where it's like I went off the treatment, Gandhi, it's still active. So what does that mean? Like active acne versus just having acne, or can it be something that you have an episode,
That's
or
a great
you always,
question,
if you've had it, you have it for the rest of your life?
So it depends, right? Because there are different triggers. So generally teen acne, you'll have it from about, let's say about 13 up until 25. And then if you have acne after you're 25, that's classified as adult acne.
Okay.
Now, adult acne, there's really no actual cure for it. It can start at any time. It can start after 35. It can start in your like mid-30s, mid-20s, in your 40s as well. And there are different triggers. It could be hormonal, which a lot of women suffer from, including myself. It could be a thing of like your hygiene, where you're not
changing your pillow.
You're not changing your pillows regularly. You're not washing your face twice a day. It could be a thing of diet as well, because as we age, right, you don't have your parents there to sort of restrict your diet. So you're sort of eating whatever you want. If you're not someone that's strict
again,
right? But that's not really a big. But that also can contribute. The consumption of alcohol, obviously, like lifestyle choices as well.
I just want to say, when I had my breakout, I was sober.
Yeah.
It's when I was off for the
months.
year. And I was like, do I have to drink alcohol?
Maybe.
But a friend of mine that had gone sober had a breakout as well when she had gone sober.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And like, I don't know if it's a thing that like when you're not drinking, you do get a breakup, because I know like 3 people that have experienced that.
Jeez.
Not that I'm doing promo for SAB.
I don't know actually, but I know that lifestyle choices also have an impact on your breakouts as well, if it isn't hormonal. But generally, women after 25, especially with women, it is because I don't know if you guys know this, but teen acne affects boys most often.
Oh, I did not know that.
So, teen acne generally affects boys more than it affects girls, and then adult acne generally affects women because of that hormonal aspect.
But that's so interesting because I don't feel like the comms that I see around like acne in general, especially when it's addressing teens, is specific. I don't see it directed towards boys more. If they're the population that experiences the most, I don't see a male twist to it. Like we're seeing younger and younger girls, young ladies, young women, like using a lot of skincare products quite early and being influenced into using it quite early, but the messaging for that for boys is not that much. That's interesting.
Even with the medicinal treatment, the acne treatment, like, you know, your Accutane, very rarely do I see men or boys making content around that or even speaking about being on it. And I mean, in my experience, I'm actually very fascinated that you're saying there's teen acne up until 25, 24, and then adulthood, it's 25, because I think my worst bout of acne was definitely in all my teen years. I think from, you know, as soon as puberty hit up until I was relatively okay until my second year of varsity. I was 18, turning 19 there. That was definitely my worst. Like it was absolutely painful. It was like everywhere. Same thing. Did not want to go anywhere. Already I was, you know, your second year of varsity. Varsity is already tough, you know, it's already tough. And then here comes this like out of nowhere, this hectic breakout. And I now have to be on this like medication as well. So that's also
that's another layer that we need to speak about.
Oh, guys.
Because the medication and the reaction your body has.
Yeah.
But you were on there's the 5 or how many factors? I don't know if you had put a number to it, but you were counting the factors that influence.
The ones that are like come are top of mind right
hygiene.
now. Hygiene. Not hygiene as in but
no.
It's just that you're not you don't have maybe a proper routine. Like you're maybe changing your pillows every 2 months, right? You are using a lot of edge control and you're not washing it out properly when you are washing your face. You are maybe skipping days, but when I say skipping days, you won't wash your face at night, which is when your face has a lot of dirt because you've been outside. So when I say hygiene, I mean small things like that. Yeah.
And the other factors?
So hormonal, also like lifestyle, diet. So diet. And diet is if you're not consuming things that are nutritious. And obviously junk food will play a factor to that. There are people who break out when they eat a lot of junk food, but that's generally not a lot of people. And then smoking, cigarettes, being around cigarette smokers, that also can have a factor. And obviously like the consumption and overconsumption of alcohol can also trigger it as well.
Okay. So you were saying you've experienced this from 13 years old.
Yeah.
What are the differences between what your experience is now versus your initial experience as a teen? Like from how you perceive it yourself as the person that's going through it, but also from how society like perceives you when you're in an active breakout.
I think when I was a teen, I was much younger. I didn't know what was going on with my body. There were also other changes that were happening because I was going through puberty. And no one in my family knew what to do. My mom had acne until she passed. So
Mom's Club.
But she also didn't know how to manage her acne. So it was very, very frustrating because I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to ask for help. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, I remember this one time we were at church and someone asked me, because we had a section for kids, and there was a lady that came up and she was like, you should stop eating so much chocolate. It's because of the chocolate. Then someone told me not to eat eggs, don't eat milk, don't drink milk. You know,
use sunlight only. Everyone's got
dry out
to
your
say.
skin. I remember being told to use sunlight and not to use anything else. Like
don't sutambisa.
Yes,
moisturize.
Uyeke sunlight, it dry out on your skin.
Imagine
And then that's gonna help you with your acne. But obviously nothing helped, and that carried on until my early 20s. And then, I mean, that frustration, trying different things. And obviously when I started working, I would buy skincare a lot. Even now, my friends tell me, like, whenever I would go to the mall, I would always make sure to buy skincare. I would buy skincare from Avon.
Trying everything.
I would be trying every single thing.
You're trying to exhaust your options.
My mom, like I said, had acne, and I remember when my mom like was good financially, like if she had money, she would buy the 3-step from Clinique.
Oh yes.
But if she had like a shaky month, she would buy Cuticura. So I tried that, right?
Oh, wow.
And then I think when I had my son, when I was pregnant with my son, I was 23 because I had him when I was 24. Yeah. So when I was pregnant, I didn't have any acne.
Oh, wow.
At all.
My goodness.
I had no acne. Maybe it wasn't as bad, but I don't remember having acne when I was pregnant at all. And then I remember I was with my friend Kakhu, so we were at Green Acres. This was probably, my son was probably about 3 months old. And you know, Green Acres, the old Green Acres, when there was still a urban and a vertigo, there was a Truett's by the other main entrance. So I was like, we're going in here. I need to buy skincare. And he still reminds me about that to this day. So I think now, because I know what I have and I know how to live with it, and I live with my acne. That's how I view it.
You're not at war with it.
No, not at all. Not at all. I live with my acne. I manage my acne. Even when, like, people always tell me right now, which is my favorite compliment to receive, is that your skin looks so good.
It looks amazing.
They don't believe that I have acne. But I have active acne, but I'm always treating my acne even when you don't see it.
So I think it's quite a good thing that you're touching on in terms of it has so many different faces. But obviously there's the face that has us carrying so much shame. That has us wanting to recoil from society and not engage with people. So it's going to sound weird to someone now. It even sounds weird to me when you say you have active acne as it stands. Because your skin looks really great. And we sometimes make this mistake of thinking that when the skin looks like what yours looks like right now, there's nothing wrong with it. Whereas there could be so much more. Like I remember you were the first person to tell me about treating your skin barrier and the importance of all the different steps. So a lot of people actually speak about, like, don't know what all the different things that we use on your skin and the different steps is for. So would you mind just like taking us through that? Because you'll find people having like a 7-step thing, 10-step thing, 3-step thing. But like, what are the essentials for looking after your skin, whether or not you have active acne or not?
Especially in this winter. Oh my word, with this dry weather. Ugh.
I would say for me, obviously, you know me, like, you know that I use a lot of products, right? And people always ask me, like, Sis, why are you using so many products and your skin looks fine? But I will touch on the things that are important for me, regardless of skin type and skin condition and age. Number one, you need to have a good cleanser, a cleanser that targets your skin type, right? So
how do I find out my skin type?
Well, there's like tests that you can take on the internet. It's very easy. It's fairly easy.
Okay.
But you'll know whether you have oily skin. If your skin feels dry or tight during the day, that could be that you have dry skin or there is an issue with your skin barrier. So it just depends. I mean, there are things you can go on the internet, you'll be able to find your skin type. It's fairly easy. And then, so if you want a cleanser, that's going to target your skin type. So if you're dry, right, you want a cleanser for dry skin. If you are oily, you want a cleanser for oily skin, because your cleanser is your first step, one of the most important steps, if not the most important first step, because you can't be applying your skincare on dirty skin. Like that sort of defeats the purpose. So you want a good cleanser. You want to be cleansing anywhere between 30 to 60 seconds day and night. I always say that, especially if you have acne or any kind of skin condition where you have buildup on the skin, you want to be cleansing at 60 seconds. I think you sing the happy birthday song like 5 or 6 times. That's 60 seconds.
It's such a game changer. Oh my word. Ever since I started that, my skin has been...
because it removes that build-up. Even with other people, like, again, I don't want to make it a thing about the hygiene thing, but a lot of people that have breakouts, it could be because of the congestion on their skin. Like the skin is so congested because they're just not cleansing their skin properly.
Long enough,
right? So cleanser, you want to have a hydrator. Now, a hydrator could come in the form of a toner, a hydrating toner, or a hydrating serum, whatever works for you and your budget. But you want to have a hydrator. This is for all skin types, all ages. When your skin is hydrated, that's when it's the healthiest. Hydration, I think, for me, is probably after barrier repair. I always say it's barrier repair, it's hydration, then it's acne.
Yeah.
Because I can't treat my acne if I don't focus on those two things, right? Always apply that on damp skin. And then you want to have, especially after 26, you want to have some sort of antioxidant serum. So like a vitamin C. I know vitamin C has a bad rep. Vitamin C, guys, is not for hyperpigmentation. Yeah. I think that's where people are
people
getting.
Think it's like a quick fix for hyperpigmentation.
It does help a lot with hyperpigmentation, but it's not specifically for hyperpigmentation. Vitamin C is an antioxidant serum. So like, we live in a world where there's a lot of pollution. You may be, especially cigarette smoke, or you're around people that smoke. That will also affect your skin. You're out in the world where there's a lot of dirt. There's a lot of you have sweat. So all of those things contribute to something called oxidative damage. So an antioxidant counteracts that oxidative damage. So it's great for like especially a vitamin C. It's great for with collagen production in the skin. And you lose your collagen as soon as not lose it, but your skin produces less and less collagen once you turn 26. So it's great for that. It's great for anti-aging, like those fine lines and wrinkles, because the world that we live in contributes a lot to aging our skin, right?
So it's not just on you, but there's stuff that you can do to protect yourself. So don't own the shame.
Please.
And also I think I liked what you said about you're not fighting with your acne, like you're living with it.
Yeah. 100%. And then obviously like something to target whatever skin condition that you have, like a serum for acne, a serum for pigmentation, whatever it is, a serum for eczema, whatever that you, redness, rosacea, whatever skin condition that you are you finding difficulty with, you should have at least one serum. Well, one serum that we'll get to that, but one serum that will assist you, and then a sunscreen.
Yeah,
definitely a sunscreen. If you're not using a sunscreen, you really should not have a skincare routine. It's like a waste of money.
Yeah.
The sunscreen is the most important step in your routine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then at night?
So at night, same thing, minus a sunscreen. I would also say if your budget is a bit tight, you can use your sunscreen as a moisturizer. You just don't need to use like 2 fingers worth of the sunscreen. Just use the same amount that you would use at night as a moisturizer. Yeah. You can definitely do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it always sounds like there's so many steps. And then if you're not understanding what each of the things is for, it sort of feels like, I must spend so much money to have good skin.
Yeah, the overconsumption, in that sense. And I mean, there's always someone telling you, this product worked really great on me. This one, and now you're sort of getting caught up and you realize, okay, but I don't think I need this so much, you know. But I mean, for people whose budgets are quite tight, how do you, and not to say like obviously the products, and we don't want to endorse anybody, who's a big company, no. But I mean, for people whose budgets are tight and they are dealing with acne of any sorts, what sort of advice would you give? I mean,
I would say obviously I don't know people's budgets, right? Yeah. But the bulk of your budget should go to your serums, like your targeted serums, right? Let's say your budget is like 1,000 rands or maybe 500. The bulk of that should be going to something that's going to target your acne. And then you can always find, luckily in South Africa, cleansers, we have them in abundance. We have moisturizers in abundance. We have retinoids in abundance. But it's the serums that you will have to there's a lot of companies now as well that you'll have to do your research and just find something that is in your budget. But in terms of just skincare in general, regardless of whether it's 500 or 5,000, I always say the bulk of your budget should be going towards whatever serums that you need. Because that's where you get
retinoid.
A retinoid is a retinol.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Explain.
It's like it's a retin A or vitamin A. So it works for it's great for acne. So a lot of people that have acne, you get it from a doctor. So when they would give you a prescription, it's generally a retin A, and it has different versions. So you get retinoids, you get retinol, you get retinaldehyde, and then you get pure retinoic acid, which is what you get via script in South Africa.
Okay.
So it helps with acne, it helps with like decongestion, it helps with refining pores, it helps with texture, it helps with its anti-aging.
Yeah, I'm so
it
bad
helps
at
with
it. At using it
Really?
frequently. I've got tretinoin.
Yeah.
But like I always end up using it like once a week, and I'm like I'm supposed to build up every week.
No, but you have sensitive skin, right?
Yeah.
Once a week is fine because it's like a lifetime thing. Once you start using it, because I'm using it for anti-aging. So once you start using it, I also
have
use
to
it
just
once
use it
a week.
forever.
Yeah,
Okay,
you use
I
it
thought-
forever.
That's what my thing was saying about epiduo. It's like, maintenance.
Yeah.
You have this thing in your life forever.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good segment because there's a lot of buzzwords
Yeah.
in the skincare industry, and we don't know what all of these things mean. Like the
Yeah.
average person like me has no idea what it means.
Mm-hmm.
So if there were 5 buzzwords that you would like demystify or help us understand in terms of what they mean, like your hyaluronic acid, retinoid, now you just explained.
Yeah.
Like what would be the key things that when somebody sees this on a bottle, this is what it means?
Oh, so many. Even with the acids, I remember maybe 2 years ago, someone said, Sisi from Cape Town, they were like, I have a glycolic acid, I have lactic acid, and I have a salicylic acid.
What does
How
all
do
of
I
that
use
mean?
them? But all those acids are exfoliating acids.
And so you can't be using
You
all those
can't be
acids at the same
using
time.
you only need one.
Yeah.
So you'll have, I'll just talk about the most popular in South Africa, right? So you have a hyaluronic acid. Your hyaluronic acid is a hydrator. So it draws moisture, water from the environment into your skin. So it helps hydrate your skin, right? And then you have I think there's 4 that are popular in South Africa. So mandelic acid, which is not really as popular, but it's for someone like your skin type, which is very sensitive, very dry, you'd use a mandelic acid. It's an exfoliating acid.
Okay.
So you can use it with a hyaluronic acid because the hyaluronic acid is going to hydrate your skin. The mandelic acid is going to exfoliate your skin.
Got you.
The other exfoliating acid is a lactic acid. Also, generally for people who have drier skin, so mandelic is for sensitive skin. Lactic acid is for dry skin. But if you have both, I would just recommend that you use a mandelic acid. So that's also an exfoliating acid, right?
Yeah.
And then you have glycolic acid, which is the popular one. That's for normal to oily skin.
Okay.
That's also an exfoliating acid. That helps with like neutralizing odor in the body. It helps with...
So I can use it on my armpits if I
yeah.
feel like... Because sometimes, and we spoke about this recently, like
Yes.
when you're going through a depressive episode or there's like changes in your diet, sometimes your armpits be going off in a very different way to what they usually do.
Yeah.
I experienced it when I was pregnant. I was like, wow, like my
She was even
pH
after
balance
you were
is
like,
off.
smell
I was
me.
like,
I was like,
I felt like my armpits were really, really strong. Yeah. So I also actually changed like seasonally. Like I'll update my deodorant, but I didn't know that there was a serum or an acid that one can use for body odor.
Yeah, but not in place of your deodorant.
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
But
because
in aid of.
Yes.
Yeah.
It helps with ingrowns. It's really good for acne. It's very good for pigmentation. And obviously, like with any exfoliant, you want it to decongest the skin, right? But that's for people who have it's really strong, especially the ones that are available in South Africa. They're very, very strong.
Yeah.
So
I've used the ordinary one, and
it's very, very strong.
Tear
Yeah,
your skin up if you're sensitive.
it's great for body acne.
Yeah.
It's great for body acne. So glycolic acid, that's for people with normal to oily skin. And then you have your salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is for people who have oily, acne-prone skin. You can use it if you've got normal skin, but generally it's very, very good for people who have oily to and acne prone skin, because it just goes right. And the difference in these acids is just the molecular size. So with the mandelic, because of the molecular size, it doesn't penetrate as deep. That's why it's so good for sensitive skin. Then obviously it goes up and up. I mean, it becomes smaller and smaller as you go up. So those are exfoliants. What else? Niacinamide.
Yeah, I've heard that one. I've seen that one on many bottles.
Yeah, one of my favorite ingredients in the world. It's really great also for like refining pores. So, because like once your pore is open, it can't shrink again unless you go into a dermatologist, maybe for like a laser, some sort of therapy. So it gives the appearance that your pores are smaller than what they are. Especially if you're someone that has had acne and you deal with congestion, once your pore is open, it's gonna stay like that, even if it's not congested. Yes.
Oh wow.
So niacinamide is great for that. It's great for controlling oil production on the skin, so it helps with people who have acne. It can also contribute to like repairing your skin barrier. So it's a really good. I would actually say everyone can have a niacinamide serum regardless of your skin type, but very, very good for people who have oily to acne prone skin.
Okay, thank you. So we've mentioned the skin barrier quite a bit.
Yeah.
Can you just explain to people what that is and what it means?
Okay, so let me not get technical. Okay, so your skin barrier.
See, I'm gonna dumb it down.
No. Your skin barrier is basically like a shield, right? It keeps all the bad stuff out of your inner skin, and it also protects the inner skin where once you apply your skincare, it locks it inside the skin. That's basically what it does. So think of like an umbrella when it's raining, and the umbrella is sort of protecting you from the rain, from the rain water. Yeah, from the rainpour, so that you stay warm even though it's raining. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And then when that's damaged, by like the sun or acne, what can damage
too much acids? Yeah.
Well, overexfoliation, I will say, especially in South Africa, it's overexfoliation. I think people generally tend, when people who have acne, I will say, when they're having issues and then break out, they always go for a scrub or an exfoliant, right? Which is understandable. But over exfoliating the skin, what else could damage the skin barrier? Oh, introducing new products that might not work well on your skin. Like, let's say you've got sensitive skin. There are certain things that you can't use, right? You know, whenever you're like overseas, you'll call me and be like, Sissy, can I use this for my skin? There's certain things. So if you have like a certain reaction, like a bad reaction, that can also damage your skin barrier. Dryness, like dehydration is a big one.
I have a problem.
Same.
How do we hydrate? Water and hyaluronic.
Yeah, there's so many things that you can use to hydrate. Like there are so many. There's snail mucin now.
Oh, I used to use that actually. 2019. Remember, we were big on that.
Yeah, the bee.
I think go back.
Your dad, did he use the bee propolis?
I have no idea. I can't remember.
Okay, sorry.
Could have been.
Yeah. There are so many brands and now the nice thing is that we have access to Korean skincare.
Yes.
And there are people in South Africa that are also launching like their own skincare brands.
Yeah,
Standard Beauty has. I believe Pastry has, but I'm not sure. But I know Standard Beauty has. I know
Skin Functional.
Skin Functional definitely has. Those Clicks toners that people love. There's the aloe vera and glycerine.
Oh yeah, I see them.
And glycerine and rose water. Oh, yes. Glycerine is a humectant, so it works in the same way as hyaluronic acid.
That's quite interesting because a lot of black women be putting that in like their lotion growing up when it comes to winter.
One thing about it,
they were onto something about that. They were onto something about that. But I think as we reach the end of the episode, like I'd like to touch on, because both of you have had the experience of acne from a young age and also have the experience of adult acne, how for other people like me who are new to it, or other people who are experiencing it who haven't gotten to the point of like taking ownership, like not taking ownership, but being able to actually live with it and work on it and with it as opposed to fighting it. What advice would you have for them in terms of, okay, how to get help, but also how they can feel more comfortable in their skin, no matter how it's appearing at the time?
Do you want to start?
Okay, so all right, let me start by saying this. For me, it was a very long, very frustrating, very emotionally draining journey. And I think what changed is that after I had my son, and then I like postpartum, I started getting breakouts again. And I remember I was going to go on Accutane, and my friend Kuselwa had been, I think it was either her first or second round of Accutane, and she was complaining about it. So I was like, you know what? Let me actually give this a bash and really do my research. And that's how I fell in love with skincare and got into the skincare industry and everything. Yeah. But I would say, you are validated in your feelings.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's something that affects even the toughest of people, even the guys, you know, but they just don't talk about it. Yeah. And I think you just need to understand what is triggering your acne, what's making you break out, and then you can manage your acne from there. And also, if you are dealing with adult acne and you find that you are having a lot of, I'm giving advice now. Is this what you want?
Yes, definitely.
If you find that you you are like constantly getting breakouts, you need to understand why you're getting the breakouts, number one. And also that will be your launching pad to how you can treat your breakouts. But acne, for me, I look at it as a chronic condition. I look at it like something that I'm going to live with my, and I'm turning 35 in like a few weeks, right? And I'm still breaking out. So I'm just like, I'm going to okay, I'm Lord.
Your sister wives.
She's going to be with me for this ride. And then she wants to. So the only thing that I can do instead of frustrating myself is to manage my acne. And it's a lot of work, I'm not going to lie. But that's what I would just prefer to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you, Michelle?
I mean, I agree a great deal that your feelings are valid. You're not imagining how
you're not superficial.
You're not being superficial. Absolutely. It sucks. It really, really sucks. And I mean, as well, we live in such a superficial world, unfortunately. Add to the fact that we are constantly consuming, content, on our phones. And I think we sometimes forget that we are normal people.
So you don't have to look like that.
You don't have to look like that.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. I think it's okay to want the glass skin. It's okay to want clear skin. It really is. But I think it's just a reminder that, you are not those people, and that is perfect. You don't have to look like them. You don't have to look, refined and look, in ways that doesn't serve your everyday purpose. I think sometimes I do find myself getting bogged down in some of these things, and I'm like, wait a minute, girl. For your little IT solution delivery job, what would you need that for?
But also it's like, if this wasn't a real thing, I wouldn't be experiencing it. Because I'm a real person.
Yeah.
And I'm experiencing it, which means other people are experiencing it too.
Absolutely.
So let me not feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go into the office with a full face of pimples. Yeah. I'm too old for this. It's happening to you.
It's happening to you
at your big age. Yeah. Therefore, it is a big age person thing to experience.
Yeah. And people are going to be, unfortunately annoying. I think that is something that you just should be just ready for. Unfortunately, I think I don't want to say like manage your emotions and
because why are you? But also maybe it starts with us being more sensitive in general, so that the world knows that it's not okay to say weird things to people who are experiencing something.
And I think even with these things, where oftentimes, I mean, we've spoken about this when it comes to shame. Sometimes with these things, when they are so heavy on us, it's that maybe we also were doing those things.
Yeah,
or we held those really, really tough sort of thoughts around, oh no, if your skin doesn't look like this, then
especially the hygiene part. And that I think that's why you felt the need to be really sensitive in terms of how you're addressing it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will really treat you like you're a dirty person if your skin is breaking out. People will literally be looking at you like you are not changing your pillowcases. You are not changing your linen. And it's like, this is beyond my control.
It's bigger than that.
You also look at yourself, because I had those moments as well when I was younger and I was going through this whole thing of trying to figure out what was going on. And I was like, maybe I'm not really, cleaning the way that I should be. I was changing my pillowcases maybe twice a week. I was wearing it clear as you too, just to make sure that my hair products don't transfer to the pillowcases. I remember, when I was reading the sheet that you sent me, the one of the lines was about when was the moment when it stopped your life, or I remember I was still living in Midrand and I had a full face of makeup, maybe 2018, that 2018 heavy makeup.
Yes.
With the brows, and we were going to like a tasting event with my friends. And when we got there, the first thing I thought was, oh, they can see my pimples and my makeup. That's what I was thinking about the whole time. Literally, when I was reading that, it took me back to that day. So I think you're absolutely valid in, like, we do live in a very superficial world, like Misho said. And your face is the first thing people see.
Yes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they grade you according to that.
And please know, it's not normal. I think that's something we need to...
It's not normal at all.
We must really...
Even the comments we have around that, you'll see these men with really polished, or people in general, really polished skin, and be like, that's rich people's skin.
Yes.
Like, you know what skin I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, I know people
what skin I'm talking about.
back home in the village with some of the
Really
best skin I've ever seen, never even touched sunscreen. And it's like...
But you know which skin I'm referring to, and it's like, we're aspiring to have that skin. We're aspiring to have the skin where people go to those glow bars where they're juicing up and all of that. And we're sitting there judging our own skin like, oh, everyone can see how I'm doing based on my skin. And it's like, no, release yourself.
Release yourself. They may be thinking that, and they may be thinking that, but it doesn't mean it's not the truth. Those are not the facts. Unfortunately, these are the things that we really do need to drum inside our heads until we get it. But there's that. And then I think there's also assess your need. Assess your need in terms of, you don't want to get yourself caught up in having now a 10-step routine.
Yes.
When you might not even need one.
Yeah, when you might not even need one. I mean, now we've got people like Sisi that dispense this information on their social media, so do follow her. There's information
and she
that's
actually
available.
Released even a serum.
Yes, and a serum
I used.
as well.
It was amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
I used it for such a long period of time, and I literally had no breakouts. Throughout that period.
You were the reason why we were looking at getting a bigger bottle.
Because I used to run out. I used to order all the time.
You used to say, Sisi, you want 120 mils, because she didn't want to pay the shipping fee.
Yes, because it just didn't make sense to me that I must keep on paying a shipping fee.
Yeah.
I still think I have some, but I just taken a pause because obviously now I'm on this hectic treatment. But like, as Sisi mentioned, there are so many local brands who are creating solutions for the environment that we find ourselves in. So I think that was a very important point that you made in terms of the environment that you're in has such a huge impact on how your skin is and what it actually needs. And I think people like you who are creating South African solutions for African skin are so important, as well as the information that you're sharing on your platforms about this, because there's so many things that we don't know. It's also extremely intimidating. You feel like, if I don't know what hyaluronic acid or lactic or whatever means, it's like, I'm doof, I've been living under a rock.
Like, that's why we have the Googles.
They're very but it's very intimidating, It's like, I think with skincare, I find skincare very intimidating. I'll be very open about it. Yes.
I think for me, and sorry to cut you, I think the reason why I say the Googles are there is because for me, I had to search like the literally lactic acid. What is this thing? So I could get like, the full sort of comprehensive knowledge. Whereas I found it intimidating when I consume it on like a social media and someone is like, and I'm like, okay, this is a lot.
So for me, the reason why it's intimidating is because I'm not a hyper feminine person. So I'm not into makeup or skincare products or anything like that, because it is something that is perceived as a feminine thing.
Yes.
So you like, I didn't grow up in a feminine household. For instance, so my grandmother, until we started telling her to use sunscreen, to use a moisturizer, was literally someone like Vaselina.
And that was it.
That was it, So because I grew up in a space like that, even things like perfume and all of that are things that I've learned as I get older. It's not something that I've witnessed in the home. So I haven't witnessed somebody have like a skincare routine. And other people will say like, no, my mom used to use like this face wash, so that's why I use this, or I don't have that experience. So for me, it's a very new thing. And when you sort of start exploring as a teen, or when you get into varsity, for instance, I didn't have a face wash until I went to varsity. And so, and the reason why I had to have a proper skincare routine was because I developed eczema when I was in like second year or third year. But before then, it was like, it's not something that's a part of my world. So it's only been a part of my world for like, the last 10, 11 years. Even using sunscreen every single day is extremely like, it's something that I've been doing for like a decade.
It's so odd when you mention that, because I have that experience in that growing up, my mom she's not really like a makeup person. She's not a skincare person. She never was. But because I started getting acne early as a teen, I had to. And she had to. She didn't know what to do. So it even got to a point where she was like, listen, I'm taking you to dermatologist because I keep buying all this stuff. I don't know what to do. Like you can see, like she never had problems.
There's also like the perception that it's extremely expensive, right? So before this breakout, I'd only been to a dermatologist when I got the diagnosis for the seborrheic dermatitis. But before then, I'd never had the need. It wasn't something I was considering, but I had this mind frame that because it's a specialist, it's expensive, right? And even now, when I went to the dermatologist, I thought, oh my gosh, they're going to put me on this treatment. It's going to be extremely expensive. And the pills that I'm on are like $300. So that to me is not expensive for a monthly thing. And even the doxy that they had put me on initially, like to get rid of the stuff and clear everything, it was like under $100. It was like 60 Rand or something like that. So I was like, there's this understanding that it's this thing for people who are well off, for people who are like feminine and know these things. And when you're experiencing the thing and you're so in your head, it's quite a scary road to walk because it's so foreign to me. So that's why I find it extremely intimidating. And I was so lucky to have someone like you in my life who I can literally consult about things and be like, hey, can I buy this? But sometimes, I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but even like going on Google and searching a thing feels like very hectic and overwhelming because how can I trust this? How can I trust these people experience of this? But having someone like that you can speak to and consult about things feels much better and much safer, especially when they don't feel judgmental, because some people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're not using a cleanser. I can't believe you're not doing this. I can't believe you're not doing this. Yes, you get me. So
no, I understand. I think even with me, when I try to create content, I always think about myself when I didn't know anything.
Oh, wow,
So I try to oversimplify my content and not to be too gimmicky, but to be very educational, because I try to think about where I was when I didn't know anything. And in that mindset or in that mind frame of being very, very frustrated, didn't know what to do, even when I had money and when I didn't have money. I just didn't know where to turn. So that's really why I started otherwise I'm a very like private person. I wouldn't even have maybe. But that's where my launching pad was. So I try to sort of give the advice in a very clear and concise and understandable way.
Keep to the facts.
Thank you so much for coming through. I usually have a question, but I feel like I've asked too many questions today.
No, like for the viewers.
For the viewers.
Okay.
For the viewers.
Something to think about. Simmer on.
Would you be willing to answer questions if people send us a few questions?
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys can ask us or ask Sissy. She calls herself Luna in the streets, but
Luna.
Sissy to us.
Yeah.
You know, when anyone says Sissy or refers to me as Sissy in Joburg, I'm just like, what's Sissy? Umbatu to Sissy.
Everybody's Sissy. So we want to hear from you. What are your experiences with acne? What are your experiences with adult acne? What are you dealing with right now? And do you think that reframing it as, I loved you reframing it as a chronic condition and something that you will have in your life for the rest of your life, something that you need to manage and something that you have accepted. What do you guys think about that? How are you feeling? And maybe, because I love a question, if there's one thing that people need to add to their skincare routine in order to protect themselves this winter, what would it be? Because Joburg dries your skin.
I mean, I would say a sunscreen. Okay,
even in winter, actually, that's a good
definitely.
thing to tell
You wear
people
sunscreen all year round. Sunscreen is sort of like tretinoin. You will have, let me say a retinol, which is what
you've
everyone
explained,
refers it to, as. You'll use that for the rest of your life. Okay,
and start even your kids.
Your kids, yes, especially when your
infants,
kids,
your toddlers,
have inflammatory conditions like your rosacea, your eczema. You want to make sure that you're protecting their skin with sunscreen, because the sun just makes anything on your skin worse. Okay, so if you have an inflammation, it's going to make it worse. If you have a scar, it's going to make it worse. If you have pigmentation, it's going to make it worse. But my skincare routine generally stays the same all year round, but I change things from bottom down, if that makes sense. So during summer, I'm using a more gel-based or liquid sunscreen because I've got oily skin. But in winter, I'm gonna go for the thicker sunscreen that I can find.
I didn't know that.
If that's still, if my skin still feels a bit tight or dry during the day, that's how I know that my skin is not getting the hydration or the moisture that it needs. Then I'm gonna go for a thicker moisturizer.
Okay.
So I sort of work my way from the bottom up.
Sure.
If that makes sense, right?
Sure.
And that generally works for me.
And I think last question, because I'm sure a lot of people, I got questions today. A lot of people probably want to know the difference in SPF levels, like from a sunscreen perspective. What does 30 mean versus 50 versus 15 versus... Is there an actual difference? Is it just a marketing gimmick?
Yeah, there is a difference.
Okay.
So you want to go for SPF 30 and above. That's the best coverage that you're going to get. 15 is more for like your hands and your lips. That's what I don't really generally see 15. Or you'll see it in moisturizers. But you still need to top it up with an SPF 30. That's going to give you the best coverage. Or SPF 50 is what we have in South Africa. And then you want to make sure that your SPF says broad spectrum.
Okay.
Right?
What does that mean?
Because that will protect you against UVA rays, which cause aging, and UVB rays, which cause sunburn.
Got you.
So you want to make sure that it's at least between 30 and 50. And if you have sunscreen in your moisturizer, you want to make sure that it's like an SPF 30 and above, and you're using it as a sunscreen, not as a moisturizer. So you're using like 2 fingers worth of the sunscreen. That's going to be enough. But if you're not, then you need to add a sunscreen in your skincare routine.
Got you. I'm going to let you go now. Thank you so much for coming.
Guys. Yes.
Really appreciated having you. And I think I learned so much today.
Absolutely.
But yeah, please like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, we'll have her details as well.
Yes, we'll add her details, and she's offered to answer your questions. So
leave
them there on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube. I haven't seen comments on Apple Podcasts.
Same, yeah.
But yeah, Spotify and the socials.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Bye.